to WC Conversations. My name is Jamie Cramble, Economic Development Officer with Wheatland County. We are a large rural county with very close proximity to the city of Calgary. I'm joined here today by Tyler Wyman and Marcus Schwabe of Royal Park Realty to talk about the Goldfinch Industrial Area, which is a large, heavy industrial area, again, very close to the city of Calgary, that has several very large industrial companies already located there. Welcome, Marcus and Tyler.
Thank you.
Perfect. Can you tell us a little bit about Royal Park yourselves, and then also about the Goldfinch Industrial Area?
Yeah, Royal Park. We're a smaller boutique brokerage here in the Greater Edmonton area that obviously expand operations really Alberta, and have clients provincially, nationally, and globally as well. So we've done work in the Edmonton region that kind of put our stamp on things, and that's why we've expanded out to obviously Goldfinch and gone on board with a lot of the land owners of our past experience, our past track record of similar projects, industrial parks, that we can come here and ultimately fulfill their requirements going forward.
And I think it's a big win for Wheatland County to get a group such as yourself that's then coming in and trying to develop and bring in more investment into Goldfinch Industrial Area. Prior to that, it was mainly individual landowners, and there weren't a lot of listings that were on the real estate sites to market that land. And as you know, with the Goldfinch Industrial Area, there are very large footprints. The existing customers there include companies like Nutrien, Orica, Federated Co-op, Stella Jones, and Cargill, Richardson, who are on those large footprints. And it also features, as you know, a rail line, a CP rail line that runs through it. Can you tell us some of the other features of that area that you...
Well, a lot of the features of the area is that it really focuses on the industrial aspect of what's available very close to Calgary. So it's got great highway aspects to it. It's got good supplies of all the services you need, electrical, gas, water. It's all in that area. We've got a lot of people in terms of getting workforce in there. 20 minutes from Calgary, 20 minutes from Strathmore. Carsland is just right there as well. So we have access to people. And we have access to land, which is generally flat. So in terms of development costs for people coming in, there's not as much cost to land prep as there could be in other places.
For sure. And I think you've raised some of the key features there, one of which is that proximity to the city of Calgary through either Highway 22X or Highway 24. Many of the parcels that are available are also adjacent to 24, and then also not very far from Highway 1. So yeah, you are correct, about 12 minutes sign to sign from the city of Calgary. And that's what we found as well, is that a lot of the labor force in the county, particularly in that area on the west side, does come from the city of Calgary, and there isn't really as many issues as it would be for a rural area, which is farther from a metropolitan center, which is a good point. A couple other things I wanted to raise. Again, I mentioned that CP rail line that runs through there, and many of the businesses in there do have access to that rail line, either through a loop or a rail siding, companies such as Nutrien, and then the elevators. Wheatland County is the only county in the area that I'm aware of that has a municipal non-residential tax incentive to target large, again, eligible investors, that we want to bring in large industrial businesses such as the scale of Nutrien or Orica, and we want to grow them within that Goldfinch Industrial Area where they'll be concentrated. One feature I wanted to talk about, I know it's a bit premature, but is the county is working on an industrial water line in that area. So there will be access to water and ability for other companies to tap into that line. You mentioned the hamlet of Carsland, which is a population center, is to the east of that ASP, adjacent to but east of it. And that hamlet also is a population area that provides housing, has a school. A lot of the workforce works in the companies there in the ASP, in the Goldfinch ASP, such as Nutrien. So there is a population center and some services there. And a little bit farther down the highway, you come to the golf course community along the Bow River of Speargrass, which is also a very attractive place for people to purchase a home and raise a family. So Wheatland has a lot of these different features. Advantages. Can you tell me a little bit about the advantages of Goldfinch versus some other areas? What do you see as the strengths of this area?
Yeah, right away, obviously taking it on and talking to the landowners, we see it as, a nice community to get established from east of Calgary. Obviously for the advantageous of tax purposes for the larger users the CP rail is probably the number one priority for a lot of groups. You could piggyback off a lot of the users in the area that's already established routes and grounds. And then the ASP that's already been established. I know it's a lot of AG land, but it's already zoned for that heavy industrial use, which will fast track the process for anybody looking to be an owner user.
We also find with Wheatland, the amount of time to respond to getting requests is quite a bit shorter than in the Calgary area and that thing. They've been able to, as we have discussions, get back to very quickly. We have access to all the levels of government as well as the public sector to be able to get the answers we need for the people coming into that area as quickly as possible. What that does is helps their timeline before they become profitable. They can shrink that timeline down by months and months to be able to get operating in your area.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you've raised one of the points that we found as well is that Wheatland prides itself in being a flat organization. It's easy to get access to all level of government within our county and to get things done quickly. And a couple of the big businesses I think that are testimonial to that is that CGC, which is a gyprock or wallboard manufacturer, it will be locating within the ASP. They're part of the Knauf Group out of Germany, or USG, United States Gypsum, out of the United States. And they have seen the advantages of locating in Wheatland and are going to be opening a facility there. Another company, a corporation that's going to be locating within Wheatland County will be de Havilland Canada, which will be a very large development aircraft manufacturing, primarily for firefighting, but for other purposes. And they will be locating their operations within Wheatland as well, within our borders. So a bit of a testimonial there. And can you talk a little bit about what your current listings are or what's available in the area?
Sure. Our current listings, we have quite a bit available north of the CP tracks, a little bit south of the CP tracks. It's available at a wide range, sort of the pricing points, depending on how close it is and what it is with the rail in that area there. Availability with the owners is that we've been able to put the owners and have them come together as a group. So if somebody's looking at purchasing and involves multiple landowners, we've already bridged that for them so we can get the group together and have it as one organization dealing with rather than individuals. So it really helps the process that way as well. So the goal is the north of the tracks, that whole area, which is where the drywall plant is going into, is the gypsum plant as well, is all taking advantage of that area north of the CP tracks.
Correct. Thank you. And I think you raised a couple of important points there as well, is that we do have a large amount of land available, which can be rezoned to industrial, that has the proximity to the city, but also a large footprint where there's very little in the way of an urban population surrounding it. And you can build a greenfield purpose-built facility to suit whatever your requirements are in Wheatland. Thank you.
Well, sorry, can I just add on to that? We have to realize that we can put together up to like 3,000 acres. So it's not, if you're looking at industrial area and you're saying, do we have enough? We have availability of about 3,000 acres to put together. So the larger users come in and have it all designed for them already in the area they need.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's a good point. As far as services are concerned, I mean, the other manufacturers in the area obviously have access to gas, electric, and they deal with water and wastewater through various means. Can you talk a little bit about some of the services or, what potential is in that area?
Yeah, we continue to work with all groups and utility companies to provide the data and attributes for where the nearest points of entry would be. But ultimately, it would come down to what the user requires, and put those meetings together to facilitate timelines, approvals. But yeah, working with gas companies, obviously water, and looking to show those in our future marketing material as well.
Yeah, so we know that ATCO has 16-inch line, 2-inch line. There's all those lines in the area. Water lines, we have power lines going through there, so we do have access to all of those. The exact amount, of course, depends on the user and what's available
Yeah.
to them. But we know we do, within the Goldfinch itself, we know we have those gas lines, for instance, are available right there.
So the gas would, just to recapitulate there, gas would be ATCO, and I believe the electrical provider down there is Fortis.
Yeah.
Or the
Correct.
grid provider.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then through, as far as water is concerned, the county is constructing an industrial water line. There's various other options that current businesses in that area have availed themselves of, such as wells and reservoirs and so forth. So I guess it depends on the scale and the requirements. And then as far as wastewater as well, again, there's various options for that. Thank you very much. How can companies that are interested and they're looking for land, how can they contact you or find out more?
So a number of ways. We have signage in the area. We have our website, ruralparkrealty.com. Along with the signage, there's a QR code on there. So anybody driving by is able to obviously snap a picture and you'll get directed to our website and our marketing material, as well as social media outlets. We're putting a YouTube video together for flyovers, and a little more detail is involved. And obviously you can contact Marcus and myself, and our contact information will be associated with those as well.
For sure. And Wheatland County also has various social media channels, including our investwc.ca website, which is our investment focused website. And there is information under the land section, under site selection, on the land, the listings and links and so forth. Thank you both very much. I appreciate you joining us today. Look forward to further discussions as well as growth of that area.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you very much, Jamie.